Hello, everyone. Welcome to the East County Library Exterior Sculptures Opportunity. Um, we're really excited to share this recording with you for those that are interested in applying to this opportunity. I'll start with just introductions. My name is Salvador. I use he, him pronouns, and I am the project manager on the Regional Arts and Cultural Council side. I'm going to turn it over to colleague and another person that's working on the project, Miguel.
Hello, everyone. My name is Miguel Camacho. I'm a landscape architect at Place, and I'm the lead person on the design and coordination for the landscape architecture around the project, and very excited to talk about the art opportunities.
Thanks for being here, Miguel. I'm excited for this. This will be good. This is, for folks that don't know, this is the first of what will be a number of opportunities coming to the East County Library site. So we're excited to launch this one and get this going. So before we jump further into this, I'm going to bring up my PowerPoint actually. And let me see here. Ooh. I think I found it. There we go. Okay. So hopefully you all are able to see that at this point. Here's just an agenda of how we're going to roll through this recording. Um, we'll talk about accessibility. I will give some more context about RAC if this is the first time folks are being introduced to the organization. Uh, Miguel will help walk us through actually the project itself at East County Library. And then we both will talk about the art goals, the opportunity for this specific site. And then I'll just talk a little more about eligibility, the portal, selections process, and timeline. And, if there's anything that we are missing, we will make sure we address it at the very end there. So starting with accessibility and assistance. We do provide technical assistance for folks that are navigating the application portal or they're trying to prepare for their application. So feel free to reach out. We also provide translation of materials or the application itself. For folks that need this, we also provide large print materials or materials that are in alternate formats. We do also interpretation services, and then various kind of accommodations for folks with disability as well as captioning, which hopefully you will be seeing as you are watching this recording. So for folks that don't know what the Regional Arts and Cultural Council, also known as RAC, is, we are an arts nonprofit that for 29 years has stewarded the arts investments for the city of Portland and Multnomah County. This is a Multnomah County project for the library. We do a number of things, which historically has included offering grants to individual artists and arts organizations. We have done convenings, arts education programming, advocacy, and particularly for this call, we also offer public art, which is the realm in which I work in and which this opportunity is situated in. And this is more information about that. If there are interests into looking into our Instagram account, as well as, of course, our website, those are what the links are right there. So public art, for folks that just don't know, we have a percent for art ordinance. Most places around the country do, which goes towards supporting arts specifically within capital public sites. So in this case, 2% of capital construction costs, the budget, it goes towards art making, which is where this project is getting its funding from. That can include all sorts of opportunities, such as architecturally integrated artwork at the site. It can include temporary work at the site. It can include the purchase of 2D artworks that what we call the portables collection or visual chronicle that ultimately move around public buildings. A lot of this has also allowed us to start to work with specifically community organizations, nonprofits, grassroots collectives, and we also have a robust murals program that we accept applications on a monthly basis and also offer funding for. So, with all that said, East County Library is the opportunity we're talking about today. And this is an image of the site. You are looking at the east elevation there, as well as the north elevation. I'm going to turn this over to Miguel to give us more context about just the overall East County Library project.
Thank you, Sal. Um, so yeah, this is one of the most important projects right now in the city, and it's located in Gresham. Um, the site used to be a park and ride for TriMet, located at the corner of Eastman Parkway and Division. It's very close to the City Hall, Gresham City Hall TriMet station. It's that train tracks that you see on the corner there. And then in this image, if you imagine further to the right, would be the Gresham City Hall. And so it's a great um, combination of work where the county, the library system, the city of Gresham, and TriMet are working together to create this amazing community space. In terms of the library itself, it's going to be the second largest library in the county library system. And beyond our classic ideas of libraries, this is really a community center, a community asset that's going to provide a lot of services in addition to books or media. And it's um, it's really focused on elevating the community diversity, the community as a stakeholder. We've had a very engaged and thorough community engagement process, and even the concepts of the architecture and the landscape are really celebrating the Pacific Northwest, our climate, our plants, our forests, and more than anything, are the people that call this place home. And so it's going to be a large building again. It's the second largest, 95 square feet, and its construction began in the winter of 2024. It's expected to be completed by the end of 2025. Holst Architecture and Place we're leading the design. And yeah, we have a great group of collaborators and consultants. The county and the city of Gresham have been very active, and we've identified through that community engagement the desire and the need for art opportunities that help express the diversity of the community. And it's a very exciting addition to the built environment in Portland, and especially in the east side, which is it's very due for something to this scale for the benefit of the community.
Miguel, I'm going to take us through some renderings of just some of the different sides of the building. So if you want to speak to any of that, please do.
Yes. Mhm.
Here we go.
Yeah, so like I said, in addition to like our classic ideas of a library as a depository of knowledge, if you will. We're really trying to create places for people to be, like the places to read, to congregate with each other. A lot of light, a lot of connections to the surrounding landscape, to the surrounding city. Big windows, a lot of natural light. A big component of this design is also the use of mass timber. There's a lot of wood that is local to this region, and um, creating a lot of visibility and sense of safety. As you can notice, the stacks of books and media are lower, so that people have more opportunities to see through the spaces. It's going to be a big space, and so this helps in terms of management, in terms of sense of safety, and just a big open space that feels welcoming. It doesn't feel too enclosed. There will be opportunities for all different types of programs. There's a maker space on this view on the bottom right, for people to create and have tools and technologies available to them. A large community auditorium that you can see on the top right there for events, for classes, for lectures, and as you can see in the background there, there's also a big window that it's going to connect you to the landscape outside, so that you know what's going on. It's about openness. It's about creating those connections. We can go to the next one if you want.
Mhm.
And then yeah, this is like the main hall in the ground floor. This is a two-story building. Again, this is something that was discussed extensively with the Multnomah County Library System in terms of management and visibility and safety. And then again, from a sustainability standpoint, we really want the design team really wanted to capitalize on natural ventilation systems, natural light, and then create this sense of openness and inspired by the forests, inspired by the use of wood and having plants inside, that sort of thing. And there, even within here, there's a lot of opportunities for complementing these spaces with art and with different expressions of the community. And so those will be treated separately. But for today, we're focusing on the exterior, and we'll get to that in more detail shortly.
Mhm,
Um, and there's going to be a children's area seen on the top left here that's going to be connected to a playground on the outside as well.
mhm,
There's going to be, a lot of, we're trying to create a lot of wayfinding and clarity on how you enter the building. The two
mhm,
entrances are very prominent. One of them tries to engage more the people coming from the division side. This view here is towards the north,
mhm,
benefiting from the transit of the MAX system, the stop there to draw people in. And this
mhm.
is also a very important civic space that's going to function as a farmers market, a community space, event space. And so yeah, we're very excited. It's a very big project, and there's a lot of change that's going to come to this community through this for sure.
Nice. Well, speaking of then the opportunity itself, Miguel, we can just get into that with more specificity. So the opportunity, as I said, this is part of a larger art plan to have artworks in the interior and exterior parts of the building. Um, we are looking for sequential or series of sculptural artworks that are going to be located prominently along what you'll see here, the sidewalk, which is this east elevation of the building that faces Northwest Eastman Parkway. This is going to be really visible to, of course, pedestrian traffic, but it's also going to be visible from the vehicular traffic that's coming on Northwest Eastman, as well as down here, Northwest Division, which they intersect. And there's also going to be bike lanes as well. So um, part of what we're also looking at here is where exactly there would be those opportunities. And so along the east elevation here, the wall, there are going to be a variety of planting areas that are going to range in size. They're also going to be what you see here are these nurse logs that are going to be scattered throughout the landscape, um, acting often as like seating for folks. And so some of the things that we've tried to parse down exactly where artwork could go would be first in these what we're calling the three concrete coves. I keep saying caves for some reason. The coves that are at a slight angle, and they're going to be moving into the planting area, but they are extensions of the sidewalk. And sort of the dimensions around that are around 7 feet deep and a little over 22 feet long. Um, the other areas that we're looking at is specifically as you go further down that divisions towards division, there's that southeast corner of the building, and there might be an opportunity to have artworks placed there as well. Um, there's going to be what's called a view triangle, and that has to be kept clear for visibility. And so we're looking out for like two areas that are sort of outside of this view triangle. One of them is roughly a triangle size of 13.5 feet by 13. And then another one is going to be this rectangular area sort of adjacent to two Douglas fir trees that are going to be prominently placed there. That's 11 by 15. Um, we are encouraging folks, I mean, since this is an outdoor work, to use hardy and durable materials. But there is interest in what other kinds of materiality could be used. So thinking about natural vegetation, thinking about light, thinking about sound, or maybe some other kind of installation like elements that sort of weave in through this series of artworks for um, the the person that's experiencing, right, going up and down that sidewalk. The other thing probably helpful to mention here, and if we go back to, let's see, let me go to this slide, is that the entrances to the library are actually on the west elevation of the building. So you have this one, which is the south porch entrance, and this one, which is the north porch entrance. Um, so there's not going to be a main entrance here. And as part of what Miguel was saying too, is that trying to really bring folks that are at various areas of the library, um, directional and wayfinding signage. So there's going to be along here too, uh, oh my God, why is the word escaping me? Posters, but signs.
Banners, the banners,
Thank
yes.
you.
Yeah. Mhm.
Banners that are going to be indicating A, this is the library for one, but B, also, Miguel, is it some of the banners also going to be sort of like directing people towards the entrances?
Yeah, in a way, yes. The idea is that they're going to be changing opportunity for changing to announce events and things like that. But yes, just to complement a little bit on what you're saying,
Yeah.
the one of the big challenges of this area is that yes, we need to drive people towards the entrances,
Hmm.
and so we identified from very early on that we needed to activate this sidewalk. It is very, I mean, it's practically the right of way. Everything basically on the side on the Eastman side of it's going to be the right of way. So we deliberately carved out these coves so that we could have a place of respite, but not just a place to sit, but a place that maybe you can pause and look at something that informs you of again what's happening in this place.
Hmm.
And it was a desire from the city also that they wanted us to find ways to activate this area, and so art and materials planting are some of the ways that we can do it. And so we're looking for ideas, and we're looking for proposals for what those activations can be, and support on storytelling and celebrating again the culture of the people, and then just animate that walk, and create a point of interest as you go around the corner, and then there will be some signage that will continue to direct you beyond these points. So it's a multi-level tier
Yeah.
system of symbols and communication that will eventually guide you to the wall, to the entrance. Yes.
Right. Sort of providing then a sensory experience, multi-sensory experience for
Yeah.
folks. There are going to also be lighting around on this elevation. So think about that too. And again, just to give folks an idea of what Miguel's saying here. So the transit center is up here. This is going to be this civic space that Miguel was referring to, which is going to be really activated with all sorts of community events. And then you have also this area here that's going to extend and allow for that kind of community activity. Here's that auditorium that Miguel had mentioned. And then here is Northwest Division, which is both Division and Eastman Parkway are pretty active arterial roads in Gresham. And so part of what we're looking for in the artwork is a way to capture the attention of folks that are going up and down the sidewalk, but also to give folks this continued sensory experience after probably visiting a number of the activities that are taking place around the library. So to that point too, Miguel, that you mentioned, just a reflection of the community, one thing I think that's really helpful to know is that east of I-205 is 40% of the county's population resides. A very diverse, I should say, demographics too of that population. And so one of the things that we're interested in is how is the artwork sort of reflecting the different demographics and communities, right, that are going to be visiting this library center. The other thing too is there's been a lot of intentional design of the building and especially using, right, these very natural materials. And so how is the artwork complementing that as well? I think is something that we're interested in. Um, I'm gonna go here just to some other
Can you
moments.
can you go
Yeah,
back really quickly to the plan? I just want to
yeah,
add a little bit more clarity. You mentioned the view
yeah.
triangle, and I just want to illustrate it a little bit. That view triangle happens basically here.
Hmm.
I don't know if you can see my annotation.
Yes.
But the need is that we need to keep that area clear. So that's why we're not putting big trees or poles or big things here because of visibility of the cars and pedestrians. And so
Mhm.
that when we talk about the view triangle is that orange triangle. And so it creates these opportunities. There's a little corner in between that triangle and the trees, the square area,
Mhm.
then to the right, and then the three coves that are also triangular, which can be confusing when we're talking about triangles. But no, we're talking about the coves are those three coves, and then the view triangle is the orange one right at the corner. It's more of a requirement so for safety.
Right. And so
Yeah.
then the other two opportunities in that southeast corner that we've identified is sort of this little triangular spot. And then here are those two fir trees, and then this rectangular area adjacent to them. Thank you, Miguel. That is helpful. This is what a rendering looks like along Northwest Eastman Parkway. And so these are folks that are going from north to south, divisions there at the corner. And then the entrances are just around on the other side at the west elevation. And this is the north wall. So this is taking a look at a different angle. So this is division. Here is the south entrance to the building, which again is that west side. And then here's the intersection where Division and Eastman meet. And then here is basically that view triangle that Miguel had pointed out here. So who's eligible for this opportunity? We are looking for artists or artist teams that are either located in Oregon and or Washington. Um, Obviously, artists who have experience either from the various communities that are going to be using the center, the library center, or have done or do work that acknowledges, I guess, community in their practice. Um, we're always looking to expand to folks that are entering into the public field, public art field. So that's something to we're being really mindful of and encouraging folks to apply. The budget is 225,000, and that is all inclusive, all fees. So that would include design, that would include fabrication, install, and any other kinds of things that come up. Thinking also about insurance and permitting and structural engineer documents and what have you. That's going to cover those costs. So we are looking for when you submit your application to our portal, these items, up to 8 images of past work samples. I can't stress enough how important this is. It really does matter what your images look like and how they accurately capture what you are doing and what you maybe are envisioning would be great for that site. So make sure that the images are of high quality and that they are using the best of they're the best reflection of your practice. And we have areas for conceptual information. And if you think that's helpful, please use them because the panelists will read it. Statement of interest here. So we have some questions that we are asking folks that we want them to respond to. And that would include things like, why are you interested in this project? Why this particular project, its focus, its themes are of interest to you, why you think you would be a good match, how do you foresee your work connecting to this mission and values of the project? And then if you are working as a team, what does that look like? So if you're a team that has done other projects, explain sort of how your working relationship has been. If you haven't and you're coming together for the first time to apply for this opportunity, then describe how you both anticipate working with each other. And then I would also say make sure that that is reflected in your images as well. Not to mention your capacity and or experience to finish and complete the scope of work. That's also going to be really important. Um, Imagine the statement of interest is like your first impression. That's going to be the first thing that the applicant or the panel will read from your application. So put your best foot forward. That's the phrase I was thinking of when you do apply. And then also artist bio resume. So PDF no more than 2 pages if you're just applying as a single artist, outlining creative activities, obviously the stuff that you've done artistically. If you are applying as a team, submit also one PDF. And it can include a bio resume for each team member, but just make sure no more than 6 pages. There's going to be a lot of materials that the panelists will be reading. So we want to make sure that they have the time to go through it all. For folks that if you've never interacted with our portal before, here's the RAC opportunity portal, rac.org/apply. So the deadline to apply is Wednesday, May 8th, 11:59 p.m. Make sure you ask your questions early so we have some time to answer them. Don't wait till the last minute to apply. Ideally, we know that this call is happening, so we're trying to get to the questions as soon as we can. But it would be great, I think, if you do have some to ask them no later than that Monday, Tuesday, the week of the application deadline, just to make sure we can answer them and also give yourself some time to prepare your materials in the portal. And if there's any barriers that folks are finding applying, please just let us know. And I'm going to have my information here for you to reach out to. So just a little more context around the process. I've mentioned a panel. Well, it is true. There's going to be a panel of artists, county representatives, project team members, including Miguel, that are going to be looking at the applications for this particular opportunity. And so things that they're going to be really looking for is what is the artist's ability to demonstrate originality of vision? How are they relating to the concepts that have been presented? And how is their work overall suitable for this particular public site? So again, statement of interest and images, they breathe life into your application. So be concise, be clear, and also be authentic as you, see best reflects what you're wanting to communicate. So here's the process and timeline. We are looking again for that deadline of May 8th. Interviews and the artist selection will take place between then and July. We're hoping to bring the artists in by no later than before the end of July for the design phase. That's when they will be working specifically with myself, Miguel, and others on the project team to start creating what is the design of the artwork's going to look like. Once that has been approved by the panel, then the artist will move into the fabrication phase, which will begin November. And then that'll take them into the fall of next year with the goal of installing the work before the end of the year of 2025. Here, if you have any questions about applying, this is my email, smayoral@rac.org. So feel free to reach out. We want to make sure that we can help support anyone who's interested in applying to this opportunity. I'm going to stop sharing right now, Miguel, but is there anything else that you can think of that might be really helpful to share with folks that are watching this before we wrap this up?
I guess make sure you take a look at those renderings and the plan. There is there's a lot going on that frontage, which is a challenge, but it also creates an opportunity for these interventions to create a sense of wonder or create a sense of if you're paying attention, you will find these great things. And so like we said, we have the banners, we have vegetation, we have the noise from the traffic. So I think that how we engage with these open spaces and then how art can be a part of that can be a very interesting exercise. And so it may be a little unconventional, but it might be a great opportunity to discover something interesting. So
Mhm.
I echo Sal's encouragement of asking questions and reaching out, and we're happy to clarify any concerns or questions that you may have, and we're looking forward to seeing some great ideas.
Yeah, absolutely. The other thing I would encourage folks, if you've not been to the site, although it's under construction, that might be helpful also for you just to get a sense of how busy that area is. And again, just thinking about how the artwork what might be most appropriate for something at that site. So, if you feel interested, you don't have to. I encourage folks to see it. So it can help to ignite some ideas as well as give just more context of what might be appropriate for to put into the application for review. So I think that's it. Okay, well, we did it, Miguel. Monday morning.
Sounds good.
Thank you all for watching this recording. Again, thank you, Miguel, for being here. And if you have any additional questions, you can find my name on the call at, like I said, smural@rack.org. And I look forward to seeing all of your applications. Thanks so much.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye bye.